Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to a short guide on the upcoming operator Ines. In this video, we will explore her kit and hopefully you walk away with a more informed decision on whether you want to pull for this unit. A few disclaimers before getting into the video. First, this guide is intended for casual Arknights players and probably the most helpful to newer players that simply want to learn about the new operator releasing soon. Second, I will not be discussing the value of her potentials. As some of you may already know, I think dupes are never worth it in Arknights. The benefit that dupes bring are so marginal compared to other gacha games, which is a good thing. So please save your money and resources and only pull for one copy if you desire. Lastly, if you'd like to do more research on Ines or any of the new operators coming to Arknights, please see the description below for a link to a ship. That's where I get all of my research. And the footage you're seeing today is brought to you by Zafang's CN account. So thank you, Zafang, for letting me use your account for this video. Alright, let's talk about Ines. Ines is a one-block Vanguard operator whose purpose is to deal with early-stage mobs and generate DP for your squad. She will likely be one of the first operators to deploy on the field, as with other Vanguard operators. To break down her kit, I will first talk about her Archetype trait, and then her talents, and then finish off with her skills. Ines belongs to the Agent archetype, which is known for the trait of reduced redeployment time. This means that after you retreat Ines, you only have to wait 35 seconds to redeploy her compared to the 70 seconds that many other Vanguards must wait. This trait also grants Ines the ability to perform ranged attacks, giving her default attack range an extra tile over other melee Vanguards. Ines shares this same archetype with other operators such as Cantabile and Puzzle, and many people have regarded Cantabile as one of the strongest Vanguards when it comes to balancing damage and DP regeneration. So I do have high hopes for Ines as well. Additionally, this trait usually hints to me that her general playstyle will be a lot more involved and revolve around careful placement, taking advantage of map knowledge, and how effectively you can redeploy her onto the field. Alongside her traits, let's talk about her talents. Like other 6 stars, Ines has 2 talents. The first one is called Shadow Weaving. On the first hit against an enemy, Ines will bind them for 5 seconds and steal a portion of their attack, and this effect will last until the target is defeated or Ines retreats. And this is what the bind looks like, and as you can see, it is applied to the first hit on every enemy. The steal mechanic is also very interesting. Ines will lower the attack of the enemy she hits and then gains that same amount of attack. Her second talent is called Shadow Sentinel. Enemies within Ines's attack range will lose stealth and be afflicted with a minus 30% movement speed debuff. After retreating, Ines will leave a Shadow Sentinel behind, which will maintain this effect. Okay, let's break this down a bit because it's a little more involved. When you deploy Ines, you will be able to see a 3-tile attack range. Enemies within this range will be hit with a minus 30% movement speed, as we discussed, and you can see also that the stealth enemies are being revealed. And then when you retreat Ines, she will leave this small sword stick-looking thing on the ground. It won't deal any damage, but it'll maintain the stealth loss and movement speed debuff to all enemies that pass through the attack range outlined. Overall, I think these talents are really good. The bind on every enemy for 5 seconds is already such a strong ability, and on top of that, she has an attack steal, she has a movement speed debuff, and a stealth removal, so that's a lot built into one kit. I think that these passive abilities alone already make her a very strong operator that you can take to every stage. Now let's talk about the interesting part, her skills. For all of the descriptions you'll see on the screen, I'll be showing the Skill 7 Mastery 3 stats, but I'll do my best to convey them simply in words. Ines's first skill is called Shadow Assault. Basically, every few auto attacks, she will automatically apply a short art damage over time to the enemy and grants 2 DP. This is what the skill looks like. Her second skill is called Lightless Night. This skill is loaded. You will have to manually trigger the skill once it is charged up, but once you do, she will gain the following for 12 seconds. An increase in attack range, increase in attack percentage, and stealth, which will make her untargetable unless she is blocked. She will also grant 1 DP per hit of this ability. Alongside already stealing attack with her talent, she will also steal attack speed, and that will stack up to a cap of 70. Let's take a look at what this skill looks like in-game. Ines's third and final skill is called Lone Shadow's Return, and this skill will change the way you play Ines entirely. It may be a little difficult to understand how this ability works at first, but once you give it a go, it's pretty easy to use. First, when you enter a stage, Ines will cost 0 DP. Once you place her down, she will actually immediately retreat, but leave her Shadow Sentinel in that exact location. Remember? The stick sword. And right afterwards, her redeployment timer is immediately refreshed. After you deploy her again, the Shadow Sentinel will actually move in the direction to Ines's new location and deal physical damage to enemies that it passes through. This ability actually reminds me of Shen's ability in League of Legends if you played that game. Do note that the moving Shadow Sentinel will not hit everything in its path, but the higher you level this skill, the more enemies it'll hit, up to a max of 6. Also note that if you place Ines in the exact same position as the Shadow Sentinel, it seems the Shadow Sentinel will actually still deal its damage in a splash radius. Oh, and on top of that, once Ines is placed down, she will gain a massive attack boost, and every attack will generate 1 DP, though this effect only lasts for a short duration. I feel like this skill is perfect for players that want to explore interesting gameplay. The moving Shadow Sentinel mechanic covers a super wide range, and you can literally have it start from one side of the map and move to the entirely opposite end, hitting enemies all in between. It's a very cool mechanic, and it's something that I did not expect coming from a Vanguard in Arknights. Now, resources are limited. Every single player can't build every single skill of every operator, so which skill will most players build? And to that I answer probably skill 2. Skill 2 is already so packed with buffs and debuffs. It generates a lot of DP while dealing damage in a wider range. It's just such a versatile skill and resembles Cantable's skill 2, which is also one of the best Vanguard skills in the game. And I bet you that a lot of players will only be M3ing this skill for their Ines. Some players will also max out skill 3, but I feel like the players that will be doing this are more so looking for interesting gameplay rather than something practical that they can use in every situation. So, does Ines's kit sound interesting to you? Do you think it's worth your pulls? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck to everyone that is pulling for Ines in the coming week, and see you guys next time.